Alright, remember last week when my aunt came by with 30 pounds of beans? Well, I just got beans everywhere. Even after giving out most of them, I still got beans everywhere. Bags, bottles. As you can see, I got this Arizona 2-liter bottle full of beans. Well, anyway, today's video, guys, is just me cooking. Just sit back and just enjoy the show. I got some beans cooking, obviously. Now, I use the pressure cooker to make these beans, to cook them for the first hour. I'm not going to show none of you guys how to use a pressure cooker because they are dangerous and I don't want you hurting yourself. So just take it for what it is. Inside of the beans, or inside of that pot, you see that thing that I'm scooping up and showing you? That's butternut squash. Put a nice big piece in there and just put it to cook for a long ass time until it starts to break down. Those pieces you just seen right there, those were green plantain as well. So I have squash and I have green plantains in there. Alright, we're also gonna make the beans with some chorizo, some Colombian chorizo. You could use Mexican or Puerto Rican or whatever, but I'm going with the Colombian, being that I am Colombian myself, so we're gonna keep it traditional. What you go ahead and do is chop them up into slices. Alright, as you see, I peeled the skin off. So you take the skin off and then you chop them up. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in a skillet at a medium-low temperature and I'm going to cover it. And I'm just going to cook it on low. There's really no rush to this. The beans themselves take a lot of time to cook. That squash takes a long time to break down into the beans, so there's really no rush. Now, as you see, I didn't add no oil to cook it. That's because the chorizo lets out fat and grease itself. So you just keep cooking it until they get nice and toasty, nice and crispy, and then you go ahead and you drain the fat and drain all that extra grease out. As you see, I also got some rice cooking in the back. It's already cooked, actually. And the beans, they're already on simmer. They're ready to go. Everything's broken down. And I got some deboned chicken thighs cooking on the grill to the side. Alright, so you see I'm getting it in today. It's going down. Alright, now moving on. The chorizo is nice and cooked already. It's nice and crispy. Don't want to burn it. It's been cooking for about an hour and change. Like I said, it's at a medium-low temperature. Go ahead and put it on a strainer and just let it sit there. And there'll be naturally a little bit of oil left in the skillet. And you could just go ahead and start sauteing some green onions chopped up and some tomatoes. Go ahead and season that with some salt. Saute it, stir it up, cook it for a good 5, 6, 7 minutes. You could turn the temperature up now from a medium low to a medium high. And you want to saute them until it's fully cooked, until the onions almost have a translucent color to them. They're not. It's just pretty much until it's fucking cooked. Cook them shits for 5 minutes. Alright, the chicken, it's coming along nicely. I have it at approximately 275 degrees. Not rushing it, just letting it cook. Trying to get it nice and brown on both sides. Time is really not an issue for this. Just taking my time with it. You know, cooking with love, man. That's that secret ingredient right there. Cooking with love. This is what the sauteed green onions and tomatoes look like. And after you get them to a point where you want, you could go ahead and dump the chorizo in there. Stir that up. Turn the heat off and just stir that up. Let it sit there for a couple minutes. And then you could go ahead and transfer that to the beans. Alright, once you put that into the beans, just stir that as well. Cover the beans up and just let it sit there until it's ready to be served. Alright, so as you see, it's starting to look like something. What you also want to do is you want to grab some cilantro, some fresh cilantro, wash it, peel it, and chop it up. And you want to go ahead and put that cilantro on top, mix it up, whatever. Just make sure it's nice and fresh, nice and crispy. I got about a half a cup of some fresh cilantro chopped up, washed, ready to be mixed. Go ahead and dump that in there. And everything's pretty much done. Around this time, the chicken is done. The rice has been done. And that's what my meal is looking like. Some rice, beans, and chicken, keeping it real traditional. You know how Spanish people do. We gotta have rice and beans with every meal, right? And this is what my plate looks like. Gains, man, that's all I can say. That's a plate full of gains right there. Anybody could tell you different, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. When you see this plate right here, all you should see is gains. Alright guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. Like the video, y'all hold it down.